Tonight, on the eve of College Decision Day, we look at how the pandemic is changing higher education. With remote learning, cash-strapped students are wondering if they're getting the education that they paid for. Meanwhile, many colleges and universities are also on a financial brink. ABC's Terry Moran has this report.
It's a college experience Marshall McGuire didn't ask for. He's a drama major at New York University's Tisch School of the Arts, and he is honing his craft in his parents' living room.
I've moved furniture to odd places in my house to make sure I have enough room to do all the dance combos that we need to do.
Marshall is one of the countless university students across the country who are figuring out how to adapt to life under COVID-19. A whole collegiate generation has gone from attending classes on sprawling campuses to their parents' homes.
I'm more nervous singing in front of my parents than I am for the people that I met 2 months ago when I started going to school.
For a lot of students, the appeal of higher education is the interpersonal experience.
You've got world-renowned faculty, you've got an incredible curriculum, and you're in New York City. That's like the top 3 reasons why you would go to a school like that. So now that everybody is in their own environments and trying to keep up with this curriculum that we'd normally do when we're in New York, it's just not the same.
Now that most colleges and universities have shut their doors and switched to remote learning, many students are left wondering, why do they still have to pay the full price?
We're here for fair tuition now.
The University of Chicago is one of many schools across the country that has decided not to refund some or all tuition payments to students for their spring semester.
This is an expensive school at the best of times, and the price tag on a quarter at the University of Chicago is a lot to ask of any family during any time, and now isn't. Just that because of the circumstances, it's especially impossible, and people need relief.
Olivia Miller is a sophomore. She and a dozen other students organized a protest in front of the home of Robert Zimmer. He's the president of the University of Chicago.
What do we want? Tuition! When do we want it? Now!
This hits home for me because we see how much money the university has. But when it comes to supporting students who are really struggling, it doesn't seem like the university cares at all.
While the University of Chicago isn't charging students for unused services like dorms, they say in a statement to ABC News that tuition is an essential source of funding for the university's ongoing operations, including support for financial aid, as well as faculty and staff salaries. The university adds that reducing tuition would hinder its ability to provide all of its current educational offerings and to fulfill its core research and education mission. And though the University of Chicago has set up financial services for students in need during the pandemic, for senior Haley Hill, it's not that simple. She said her family makes too much to be eligible for the financial aid, so she's taken a job as a live-in babysitter.
I don't know when I'm going to get a job, if I'm going to get a job, I obviously, I love living with this. But it's like once that time ends, once I'm no longer needed, then it's time to move on. But what do I move on to?
The future is also uncertain for many colleges and universities. This pandemic is pushing some over a financial cliff. According to a report by the National Student Clearinghouse Research Center, there were already 250,000 fewer students enrolled in college last year than the previous year. And now the loss of expected revenue and funding from many of these institutions is staggering. For example, the University of Michigan anticipates losses of $400 million to $1 billion this year. And California's university system lost $558 million in unanticipated costs in March alone. But struggling students like Marissa Riggs, a senior at NYU, say they're not getting what they're paying for right now.
We would like monetary reimbursement that reflects an online education. And we would also like transparency as to where our money is going. We haven't really been told where our tuition money goes. We've just been told that there is no money to be given for reimbursement, but we don't know why.
NYU says it has refunded students for housing, meal plans, and other fees for the remainder of the semester, and that 99% of its classes are still being held, albeit remotely. Students are still making progress toward their degrees, the school says.
That the university still needs to pay faculty salaries, pay for the facilities that the faculty use, pay for research labs, libraries, support staff. So there is a cost that's going to be part of tuition expenses, regardless of whether or not it's in person or it's on campus.
While some students feel their school administrations have let them down, others remain optimistic, and they see a silver lining.
I'm so, like I said, incredibly grateful that you have faculty who literally sat down at a computer and was like, you're right, we're going to have ballet class through glorified FaceTime. You know what I mean? Like, that is the silver lining. It's the fact that none of my faculty have lost any drive.
Terry Moran, ABC News, Washington.
Our thanks to Terry for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.